Hey guys, all three of my beautiful desert roses are finally in bloom. Which is great because I honestly couldn't remember what I had picked out way back when at the nursery. Basically because only one of them has bloomed prior to this moment, which all three are finally in bloom. So it's kind of like Christmas morning has come and gone with all of the excitement and finally seeing and figuring out my desert roses. If you're looking for a houseplant with a flower that packs a punch, then the desert rose is for you. And honestly, there's not much better than one of these blooms. Come on now. Desert roses or Adenium Obesum aren't the craziest houseplants to care for, although it's taken the summer heat and a careful eye to keep these plants happy. I'm going to be covering all of the crucial care tips you need to know, as well as some important key considerations for growing healthy and thriving desert roses. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tyler, and if you like what you're seeing or you find this video to be useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or better yet, you can subscribe to my channel. So I have to come clean and share with you guys that I actually never got around to potting my desert roses up in their forever homes. You can actually take a look at this one here. They're still in their nursery pots, and this one has completely busted through. So in the meantime, I've been keeping them in these small little IKEA pots, but the best time to repot a desert rose is actually in the springtime. So now I will be waiting until then before repotting these three. Now, the thinking behind the springtime timing really comes down to two key things. Now, these plants need to be root bound in order to flourish, and by repotting them during a growing season or at the beginning of the growing season, they will have enough time to grow some new roots and be nice and snug in their new container. Anyways, enough of the excuses. These three desert roses are allegedly rare varieties. Come to find out, there are literally a bazillion different color iterations for the flowers on desert roses. Now, if I live somewhere like Arizona or somewhere nice and warm all year round, probably try to have all of them. That wouldn't make me a hoarder, would it? I don't think so, do you? Anyways, FYI, these plants are actually native to parts of Africa and Madagascar. Well, before jumping into crucial care tips and all that jazz, let me share with you exactly which varieties I have here with me now. This first one is referred to as Plum Beauty. Now, I'm not exactly sure the plum reference, so if you get that, comment down below, but I would describe the flower as this like bright pink or bright magenta color that trims this really purely white interior, and it's beautiful. And for this one, this is the first time I'm seeing this one in bloom. This one is apparently called Star Cluster, and when this first came into bloom, it was a lot deeper and darker, and it's kind of lightened up over the last couple of days, but and lots of new blooms coming in, but yeah. It's pretty cool. And last but not least is Double Noble. Now, this one has sort of like red and yellow flowers. They're a lot smaller than the other ones, but more plentiful. There's a ton that are about to come in. And again, this is the one that busted right through its nursery pot, so definitely nice and snug in there. If you're interested in more content like this, please give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment down below. To really show me some love, click the bell for alerts and notifications for future content. So when it comes to caring for desert roses, there really are some important considerations to keep in mind when you don't live in the desert and it's not sunny, hot and warm all year round. In terms of lighting, we're talking full sun. Now, that typically means if you live somewhere like I do in the Northeast, that you are going to be keeping your desert roses outdoors late spring and summer, and then inside during the winter months in a south-facing window. Now, it's important to wait until the temperature is consistently in the 70s before transitioning your desert roses outdoors. Because they've been indoors all winter, they're going to need some adjustment time to that full sun. Basically, to put them out in the full sun and forget about them is not the way to go. These plants do need some transition time. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But if you do leave them out in full sun, the plants will become damaged. Let me explain. Despite knowing better, I still managed to get a whole bunch of sunburnt leaves, even with keeping a close eye on them and paying careful attention. So I would really recommend maybe for 1 week when you're bringing them from inside to the outdoors, maybe just keep them outside for an hour or two, especially in sort of like a less harsh light, like the morning sunlight, and then, slowly increase their exposure to the sun, and that will hopefully do a lot better of a job than what I did, because ultimately those sunburnt leaves will drop, and that's kind of a big deal because these plants are actually pretty poisonous, and I'm not munching on their leaves anytime soon, but I do keep them on my back deck outside, which my dogs have access to, and just be mindful. I try to be mindful of where the leaves are falling, pick them up really quickly. My dogs don't really have taste for desert roses leaves, but just a good idea to get rid of them sooner than later. Anyways, so something to be mindful of. Now, when it comes to watering your desert roses, it's totally a seasonal thing. Now, watering is the trickiest part as far as I'm concerned. It's something that I've kind of really still struggled to find that perfect balance of how much and when to water. Just as an example, this guy here clearly got a little bit too much water because you can see there is this leaf that's yellowing. So I guess what I'm saying is what I've learned from experience is you only want to water your desert roses once they've really, really, really dried out. And I guess what makes it so tricky is when the plants are outdoors, they're exposed to, the outdoor environment, which includes dew in the mornings and rain. Now, I did try to bring my desert roses indoors anytime I knew rain was coming, but, it wasn't perfect. They definitely got exposed to, moisture and rain outdoors. And then knowing when that's all happening and then trying to water accordingly is basically pretty difficult. So, there may be some sort of better solution. Maybe I shouldn't have watered them at all and just let the outdoors take care of it. All that aside, these plants do need more water during the growing season and the summer months. And because these plants actually can go dormant in the winter months, you're going to want to water them a lot less frequently. In terms of the soil mix, when springtime rolls around and I do get to repotting these plants, I'm going to be using a very sandy and gritty soil mix, which makes perfect sense. These are native to parts of Africa and Madagascar and are called desert roses. So think very much so desert when it comes to this sort of sandy and gritty soil mix that they will flourish in best. I guess I'm a little bit more worried about finding these guys size appropriate containers with really good drainage. Now, a lot of the times I'll see folks using sort of bonsai looking containers to pot up their desert roses. I'm not a huge fan of that look, so maybe I'll just have to make my own cool small looking containers for these plants. Anyways, I have until spring to figure it out. Oh yeah, beyond their beautiful flowers, don't expect too much from your desert roses. These plants grow extremely slowly. Now, in terms of fertilization, I did go ahead and use a balanced diluted liquid fertilizer in the early spring and the beginning of the summer months, and then I did totally stop fertilizing these through mid to late summer, and that seems to have done the trick. I have read that bone meal is an excellent fertilizer for desert roses, so I think next spring and summer I'm going to try a little bit of that instead of this liquid fertilizer and see what that brings. Plus, I have a ginormous bag of bone meal from fertilizing my dahlias. So there's lots of that to go around. Well, that's it for me. Oh yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or hit that subscribe button. Miss you guys already. Until the next one.